while, like I told you that for some good or bad, some people have bad intentions. So they've been going to take those resources. They hoodwink some other Ugandans out there who put their resources together. So we are interested in knowing what happened, so you can, in that process, report a problem.
So do you have a system that monitors? Because you said you deal with the fellow colleague,
yes,
whom you speak the same language.
Yes.
So how are you as UMRA in position to monitor and be satisfied that the finances have actually gone to the right
For
person?
as long as Ugandans will follow those guidelines, like we are mentioning, that the guidelines are in place, follow them, respect, and go and report to the commercial development commercial officers, district commercial officers out there in the district, and you put your record there, and the record is translated to UMRA. You know very well that is the process of how to be able to report on those resources. And once there is a problem, we shall start from there and be able to follow up what was happening.
The world still continues to celebrate the World Savers Day. What are the major concerns you register at office?
The major concerns we register as of the moment is that, for example, SACCOs. The system of SACCO reporting has been a bit weak, whereby we have been finding the committees that come together to when committees come together to mobilize resources or funds from the fellow members in the SACCO, sometimes we have had swindling happening there. So thefts have happened, and those ones have been challenging to us. So what we are trying to do is to ensure that we put a system in place to be able to understand what goes on beyond the SACCO system. Government will try to use the UMRA organization through our Tier 4 sector to understand what goes on in those circles. And this is all in the plan of helping savings mobilization.
Okay. I know in your preamble you talked about the culture of saving. COVID-19 has not only affected the other sector, but I know it has also partly negatively contributed to the percentage under which people save.
Yes.
Has it crippled you in any way?
Yes, all of us were significantly affected by Tier 4, by the COVID-19. And as soon as we went through that, as soon as we got a semblance of peace when COVID was coming down, World Bank asked us to do a survey, which we did, and discovered that so many of these institutions were really affected. So many Ugandans could not, first of all, save. But microfinance has been working to put together resources at basic levels. So what really happened is that it became difficult to even take the savings. You remember transmission was by movement, so you could not exchange when you can't touch money. You remember in Italy they threw the money away. So it became very complex and it required digital platforms. So we quickly encouraged people in the system of microfinance to start using digital mechanisms. But now when we started using digital mechanisms, it also required that the regulator goes digital. So as we speak right now, Uganda Microfinance is going to regulate through a system, so licensing does not require you to come to the office, walking all the way from Arua, so that you can come to Kampala for a license. You'll be sitting from 2023, you will be sitting, and rather 2024, you will be sitting and entering your information on a system, and you are able to, at the end of the day, get a license. This is to enable everybody to get on a license and everybody to be regulated, and at the end of the day, we shall have a properly regulated environment. If we reduce our informal sector to some form of organization, it will be to the benefit of all Ugandans. so that we are able to understand how much is this money that Ugandans can mobilize by themselves. And if they are able to mobilize for themselves, it means we shall be at some point to know that we have 100 trillion under Tier 4 sector. And if we have that one, why are we borrowing at very high interest rates?
So do you have stimulus packages for good savers? For God's sake, anyway.
I can only announce that the package we have, we are organizing for all those who are licensing with UMRA.
But is that fair enough?
Government is organizing what they call an invite project.
Is that fair enough?
Where that invite project, people will benefit.
Is that fair enough, especially when the rate of savings is actually going high? I would think you would probably do more than that.
Yes, we will. We will bring more, but what we are trying to now solve is the problem of liquidity in business. There's no reason why, if we have mobilized all that money under the Tier 4 sector, people will continue to borrow at very high rates. Right now, we have already seen it happening with Emioga, with PDM. We shall continue mobilizing until we get people to organize their own fund. And if that fund is very well regulated, there's no reason why we will not benefit as Ugandans.
I am told the wise person is one who does three things: who learns and relearns.
Yes.
What are those three critical things that you've learned, you need to learn, and you need to unlearn, as we plan to wind up this discussion?
I would quickly think that the critical things I can talk about is allow yourself to be vulnerable and learn to save. When you are saving, it's painful in the beginning, but when it starts to solve your problem, it gets to be very interesting. That is why I said save and invest. After you invest, you get some income. When you get some income, in the pool, we shall reduce our interest rates. So I can quickly say that I want to encourage Ugandans to embrace savings and grow their savings so that our economies can finally grow.
But Amidi, thank you for speaking to us. I know it's quite a bit hectic.
Yes.
But that is it for the Coffee Court today. I've been speaking to the Executive Director of the Uganda Microfinance Regulatory Authority, Madam Edith Tusubira. And this is Smart24 TV.
The 9th day of the month of November, in Luganda, they will call it Mosenene. I don't know if you've been getting grasshoppers of late, wherever you are. How are you doing? Hope you're okay. This is the second hour of the show. Marija Andrew took you through the first hour, giving you details regarding the news recap and also details regarding the SMB International updates. But not only that, he also gave you the press review and business tips that kick off your day. I hope you're doing well and absolutely moving further to at least give you more of the situations that are moving away from the world of business. But besides that, if you're to look at the other situations as we continue to grow in the world of business, there's a lot that you deserve to understand and there's a lot you deserve to notice and to know as we grow by giving you more business updates and more business information as it's supposed to be. We are your daily Kickstarter. Now, speaking of which, as we're getting further into updating you more of that, let's get into the SMB updates this morning. And there is this particular one regarding the East African Science and Technology Commission, which has called upon fundings for innovation and technology in East Africa to support youth in developing new technology. Now, the Executive Secretary, Dr. Sylveth Okoth, says that this has limited resources for innovators. This report was compiled by Samuel Kirimunda, and let's have more of the report. African Youth Innovation Forum, Dr. Sylveth Okoth, reveals that the need for strategy for development and interactions with the innovators who have come up with special innovations after being selected by different partner states is vital.
What we are here for is Youth Development Forum. So in furthering the mandates, we picked out on innovation. And we have a strategy for development and promotion of innovation. One of them is this platform of Youth Innovation Forum. Okay. So the Youth Innovation Forum is intended to first of all, enlighten the youth about how do they come to play in the innovation space. Innovation is so wide, but we restrict our focus to science and technology. So innovations emanating from science and technology in the region. So this forum allows the interaction between all the youth who have been identified from partner states, who have come up with special innovations after evaluating and selecting carefully from partner states the commercializable ideas that are at different stages in the innovation development spectrum. A few that were prioritized because of their quality or level of development and many other parameters were selected, and the lead persons in those innovations were invited to come to showcase what is it that they have developed.
According to Regional Coordinator Youth Ambassador to Kenya, Wairimu Manyara, said that there are some challenges that are influencing Kenya innovators which needs to be addressed.
The East African Innovation Forum is important, first of all, because it seeks to address some of the challenges that we face as youth in partner states. For example, I come from Kenya, currently living in Nairobi, and I know some of the main challenges that we are facing. Some of the challenges that we are facing specifically in Kenya to do with innovation is one, resources, right? I think, and this is faced prevalently across the region, when we don't have youth accessing resources. This is because, for example, loans are either too expensive or we don't have the security to be able to access these loans. Secondly is even just the development of this infrastructure in itself, right? To be able to create your innovation, you need to be able to have those skills present. I think a challenge that has been posed in this last session is the fact that our educational system sometimes tends to be very abstract, right? So you don't necessarily have the practical input, and a lot of youth either have to go to online courses or do extra courses which cost money to be able to fully develop. So if we're also going to create a more vibrant innovation space in the region, there has to be a lot of tactical change specifically within the educational system that we face.
Further, Regional Coordinator for Youth Network, Jack Tusime, also revealed that there is need to invest in technology and agriculture to solve some of the other issues.
The event is focusing on 6 pillars. We are talking about innovation in energy, innovation in ICT, innovation in agriculture, innovation in health, and we are focusing also on climate change. And those are the issues that we are grappling with as the East African community, the 7 partner states. And we are saying that when we invest in, for example, agriculture, where we have the comparative advantage, we are going to create very many jobs where young people face challenges of unemployment.
At the Presidential Awards, which will take place on Thursday, 10th November, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni is expected to grace the awarding of gifts to East African youth who have showed case skills in developing some of the various projects. Sam Kirimunda for the SMB report. Okay, now there are also presidential awards that are going to take place tomorrow, Thursday, on the 10th of November. And President Museveni is expected to award quite a number of people, but especially the East African youth here who have showcased skills in developing and setting up various innovative projects that will inspire a generation. Because when you look at some innovative ideas or the skills that come to it, sometimes they are game changers for society. And when a population like ours, which has quite a number of young people, has developmental minds that can definitely start up something, you will be very proud to be part of the generation. And that is why the East African Youth Innovation Forum is also taking center stage in that way. But of course, as we look at technology and innovation, there is something very vital behind everything. There is funding that is greatly needed to make sure that everything being pushed becomes a success, because as the young people, one of the biggest challenges they face is literally lack of funding to push either their businesses, startup capital, or as well as funding for the various innovations in the world of technology that they're actually fostering in one way or the other. So that is it for the SMB update this morning. I'm Jerome Paul Sonko. Hope you are having a good one as well. Meanwhile, after the break, we're getting into our topic of discussion, and today we discuss branding. in business and why it is important. What should you do to safeguard your brand? That and more is what we have for you today morning in our topic of discussion. Keep it Smart 24 as we drive you into the business world.
Smart24, driving business.